Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega and Greater Germanic Reich. So in the last episode, not only have we managed to change our deficit into a pretty big euro surplus, which we are using to lower our debt. We are now at 105.2%, and I'm expecting it to drop below 105% during this episode. We have also managed to increase our credit rating to prime, which is the highest rating. You know, that's connected with it. Now we're paying less on our debt interest and thus have a yearly surplus. But we have also got involved in a conflict in Madagascar. What used to be the Reichskommissariat Madagascar has fallen into pieces, and we are now helping the Militärstaat Madagascar by sending in a volunteer army consisting of 2 divisions. So after some deliberation, we chose the 11th Fallschirmjäger Army, and now our elite divisions have destroyed one of the enemy units near Besalampi. We will secure the territory all the way to Mahayanga. Then we are going to redeploy our units south towards the temporary capital of Tular and secure the south of the island. Hopefully that's going to work. We'll see how it's going to go. But before we go there, we can choose a doctrine for ourselves. We have preset the maneuver warfare doctrine, so there's not much we can do with that, and we can either go with the Schwerpunkt tactics and spear points, which would greatly help motorized armored and tanks most of all, or we can go with massive bombardment and overwhelming strikes, which looks like it's benefiting mostly the artillery. That's a bit of a question here, because this helps with the breakthrough kind of dramatically, but I think that most of our units are using the line artillery, and thus it would make more sense to go with this, especially in this combat. And on the other hand, we have huge amounts of tanks. No, let's go with the Schwerpunkt tactics. I know that this would help us right now, but in the long term, Schwerpunkt is going to be way more important. So Schwerpunkt, focal point in German, refers to the strategy of concentrating an attack onto one portion of an enemy defense line. The tactic is intended to break through enemy positions and quickly spread into the rear of an enemy line. By training our forces with this philosophy in mind, we shall take the first step to a blitzkrieg of our own. So, we got that. Now you guys can take this. You can go... No! We're gonna take this territory. You go to Mahayanga and here, and go this way, and then we're gonna redeploy you south. So let's keep supervising them for now. Anything else that we can do here? The game wants me to send in the combat engineers, but until they get the factories under control, there's not gonna be much. Okay, and we really need to do something here, because this is not looking good. You are moving fast, but we will really need to redeploy you here. Oh no, the units are retreating. Okay, so I guess we have managed to secure the rear. Okay, you know what? We're gonna send you back immediately. You're gonna protect Tular. What's the speed? Speed is 1.22 kilometers, and if we put you on the rail, it's 6. Okay, so that is much better. So let's actually use it. I thought that there was not much of a difference, but there actually is a big difference here. Yeah, you're about 6 times faster. Okay. So with one unit protecting Tular, we can secure this territory without much issue. And make sure that we are going to do what needs to be done here. So let's take these 2 areas and go back. 5 victory points. Not bad. But again, this is mostly to force the enemy to redeploy his units. It's mostly like a strategic thing. And we'll need to take the rest of this. Come on. This is taking forever, but what can we do? These are forests and forests. Supply truck attrition. I wish we could change our template, but this just proves that the Aerosol company and the Medivac company is pretty good. Do you have everything? You're missing some attack helicopters and some infantry equipment. Really? Is it because we don't have it, or because you're not getting resupplied? So what, infantry equipment? Okay, this combat we're winning, so they're gonna be pushed back. But I think it must be because of the logistics, it's nothing else. I think we even have the... we even have the helicopters, or spare helicopters that we would need here. Anti-air command, what did you miss? Attack helicopter. Yeah, we have 123 spare attack helicopters. It's because of the logistics of the situation. Okay, this is looking good. We are winning this. Oh, and we got something else here. Status of the Dominican Republic. Top secret, eyes only. What is this about? To all members of the Abwehr, Unternehmen Bernstein, Dominican Republic, Caribbean, aligned with Iberia. The collapse of the triumvirate has caused the government of Rafael Trujillo to become vulnerable, both to internal pressure and external action. The United States, in coordination with Cuba and Mexico, are currently training a small contingent of the Caribbean region, which has taken a direct stance in opposition to dictatorial regimes in the region. With reports of amphibious operations training, it seems likely, I'm gonna unpause it so that they can finish this. It seems likely that they plan to attack through the sea and will link up with the dissidents and insurgent forces within to attempt to stage a popular revolution. Within recent events, Iberia has become the sole backer of the Dominican Republic. It seems likely that they have discovered the plans of the Americans and Cubans as well, with a heightened presence of known security agents. Santo Domingo is neutral in regards to policy directed at us, and Iberia is hostile. It seems unlikely that backing the Dominican government will change this outlook. As such, any potential gains should be negligible in the near future. However, the prospect of routing American activity within their own region and in an area dominated by American influence still possesses strategic value. May Germany be in safe hands. Even a neutral Dominican Republic is better than one decidedly pro-American. Our forces shouldn't be in a region where benefits are minimal. So the Dominican Republic. What is going on here? Rafael Trujillo. So when they're mentioning that there's a struggle between Iberia. Even a neutral Dominican Republic is better. So let's see if we can do something. Okay, we still can't do anything here, but we could do a couple more things. Global conflict. Oh, okay, so this is the Trujillo conflict. Okay, let's investigate that soon. But first, we need to decide what we're gonna do here. So you guys can attack here to support these guys. You're winning this, so that's good. And now let's look at the Trujillo. So we got the Malaxis Civil War here. Anything else that we can do here? We could send them additional infantry equipment and support equipment. Now, how's our situation? We have to think about it strategically. Like, we cannot send them more than we can afford. So we got 1,800 support equipment. And we can, yeah, we can send them one more batch. So support them. And now let's see the Dominican Republic. I'm gonna get rid of all of these boosts because I don't want to see those as events pop up. So, spies in Havana and Washington have delivered reports to us detailing the training of the Caribbean Legion, a group of political dissidents and mercenaries preparing for an invasion of the Dominican Republic to overthrow dictator Rafael Trujillo. Despite Trujillo's steadfast alignment to Iberia, we may find that humiliating the Americans in their own backyard could prove valuable. American air assets will likely be used in the conflict and prove devastating to the Dominican Republic forces. In response, engineers in the Wehrmacht have begun strongly advocating for the shipment of anti-air weapons, especially new technologies for field testing. We should not pass up the valuable experience and photos of downed US pilots on the news. So our current operation strength is either 90 out of 100 or minus 90 out of 100. Behind the scenes, a decisive front in our operation to oppose the United States efforts in the Dominican Republic is that of covert operations. The robust American and Mexican intelligence services prove difficult foe to surmount. Thus, our counterintelligence efforts, measured by operational strength, will prove pivotal towards our goal of blocking the American sphere from further expanding. So what we can do, we can send old AA systems. We can, because we don't have enough in stockpiles. Okay. Supply a last generation of manpads. Okay. Anti-air equipment. The effects of enemy bombing runs against the Dominican Republic will be reduced. Send prototype AA weaponry. Okay. Send modern manpads. Okay. Share cutting-edge radar technology. The effect of enemy. Offer Wehrmacht technical support. Research speed, construction speed. Coordinate with the Dominican intelligence. Okay, so we want to increase the strength. We don't need to increase their operational strength by 10 anymore. That doesn't help. But we can send them. How are we doing on the manpads? I think that we had pretty much a really high amount of these. Yeah, we got 2.8 thousand units. So we can send them that, and I wish we could send them the old AA systems, but we can't. So that will have to do for now. I mean, I could also, yeah, let's support them. That's gonna give us 100% efficiency. We can give them some weapons. Okay, let's keep some political power for ourselves. And I want to see. Okay, events or decision timer. Cool. Okay, so we're getting involved in shenanigans in the Dominican Republic, and we are fighting down here in Madagascar. So you guys are getting beaten pretty badly. It's really good. Oh, yet another unit here is attacking us. Rebel Malaxi Division. They have absolutely no chance. I wish they retreated here, then we could eliminate them. That would be pretty cool. Okay, this fight over here is looking really good. We'll crush these guys, and even if they push us back, you will be strong enough to do anything here. Hey, and we can look for opportunities. Protests reach new heights. Oh no, student protests have long plagued the Reich. Intermittent rallies and campus marches are not unheard of and have been held in small numbers ever since the NSDAP came into power. However, protests have become much more frequent and intense after Hitler announced his successor. In major cities all across the Reich, German students have held rallies and marches across university campuses, with some migrating into the streets. Sit-ins have effectively shut down most campuses, and students have taken it upon themselves to block off government and army buildings. Many of the large gatherings are flat out refusing to disperse, and students at many of the sit-ins refuse to budge. A large crowd of over 200 people even blocked off NSS barracks. It was a miracle that no one died. We need to do something about the student protesters now before the situation spirals out of hand. One way or another, we need to take action. So the people have a right to protest, make sure they're safe. Okay. Deploy the troops, given the orders, send in the army. Send in SS to make sure to work with these liberals. No, people have a right to protest. I know that it's gonna bite us in the rear maybe, but we'll be fine. Okay. So we restricted the SS recruitment. The Schutzstaffel, the most extreme adherents of the National Socialist philosophy. Given the organization's largely radical beliefs, it is becoming a breeding ground of virulent anti-Speer sentiment in the Reich. Furthermore, given the actions undertaken by the Reichsführer SS Himmler and Heydrich in recent years, it's been suggested that SS recruitment should be restricted, with or without their consent. The SS' considerable hatred for Herr Speer has provided him with a legitimate casus belli to enact said restrictions. So we got plus 10% stability though out of this. This is really good. Okay, now let's support the Kriegsmarine. Okay, you guys are moving. Okay, you guys have defeated these fellows. Okay, I have a feeling we might want to attack here. We'll see if our ally can still defend. This is also a victory point. Okay, World War II military infrastructure has been finished, so now we can go with post-war military infrastructure. Supply consumption lowered by 3%, military spending lowered by 2%, and army-based coverage effect increased. Actually, one thing that we haven't investigated, and we should, is the effect of... where was it? We could see the... here's the societal development. But there were... oh, here it is. So last year, because it's January 1963, so population grew by 3,623,199 people. The ranks of the poor, unfortunately, grew by 5 million nearly. And the GDP per capita is dropping significantly and poverty is rising. This is not good. But nearly 2 million people learned to read. Nearly 570,000 people enrolled in colleges. 1,153,000, well, actually 1,154,000 nearly died from preventable diseases. And agricultural yields dropped. Well, we're doing our best to lower the debt. The Euro surplus is increasing, the GDP is increasing. Inflation is under control, so we just need to push through. There's not much we can do here. Oh, god damn it. Well, okay. So let's retake this area. Yeah, these units are fairly weak, so our... I'm wondering whether we should... but I think it would be much better to actually unite our units here and have a stronger... the area in the north is not that important. We need to protect the area around our capital. And you know what, I should have actually eliminated these forces completely by... okay, let's do it this way. We've hurt them a bit, but this way we can eliminate them. And with the help of the second force we can eliminate another division here. You know, just pushing them around won't do us much good. We need to hit hard and tactical. So let's make sure that's the case. Okay, losing a bit of fuel. Well, that's fairly fine. Yeah, and the relative and factual national debt is both lowering. Amazing. So you guys are dead. That's amazing. What kind of tactics are you using? Overwhelming attack. General Heinrich Tretta. Now he's not a great general, but he is the right man for the job of airborne units, commando, and everything. Ramfis Trujillo flees Paraguay. Rafael Ramfis Trujillo Jr., son of the Dominican dictator, has long been a source of rumor of bizarre antics and macabre crimes among experts of Caribbean politics. His antics have now branched into a new location. Sent to Paraguay to help develop relationships between Latin America's two fascist regimes, Ramfis appeared to have fallen out of favor following a scandal over his escapades to benders in Iberia, accompanied by the daughters of top Paraguayan officials. No matter who started what, the end appears to have been an escape attempt by a limousine, followed by a firefight between Ramfis and Tirage and local security forces near the Bolivian border. The lunatic heir to the Dominican Republic escaped home, trailed by his newest scandal. Well, well, well. Okay, the power struggle. Nothing we can do here. What about here? Our strength is 100%. Isn't the prototype AA weaponry? This would be great, but 50 political power is something that we cannot actually afford at this point. Yeah, they're recapturing the territory, but that's fine. I mean, if we eliminate enough of these forces... Hey, our allies are actually doing really good. Look at that, we're taking in the territory. We might win this, actually. Okay. So now we're gonna go to Ambovomba. We'll eliminate the next unit. The Punta del Este meeting. Many South Americans look with concern at Uruguay today, as representatives of many Marxist revolutionary groups across the continent meet in Punta del Este. While no public declaration has been made about the specific points of purpose of this gathering yet, political commentators all around raise concerns. Some attendees are highly wanted criminals, and many parties banned in their respective countries are also known to have sent representatives. What also raises concern is the presence of international revolutionary Ernesto Guevara. Following his release from Chile prison not so long ago, Che had disappeared from notice with only hints of possible exile into Uruguay, and all wonder what his resurfacing means. That should have been much easier to say. Okay, so how are we even doing at the political struggle? I haven't really checked that. 65, yeah, we are dominating this. Good. Hopefully Hitler will hang around a bit longer. Okay, our forces are still fairly strong, but we already managed to eliminate a couple of enemy divisions, which is really good, and it seems like we might save Madagascar. Erhard Milch, just don't let me down, man. I mean, seriously, we're risking it all for you. We are risking it all. So Ambovomba and Fort Dauphin are fairly valuable spoils. Okay, let's speed it up a bit, because we are not moving really anywhere. Okay, C2I has been finished, which is really good, but one thing that I wanted... That's a signal company. No, this is actually really good. This gives a bonus to everything. Army organization regained 2%. Developing technologies centered around command, control, and intelligence will give our commanders more capabilities to shape the battlefield. And this one is just the continuation of that. Naval command power gain, army organization regain, navy organization, division organization, all getting bonus. Command, control, communication, and intelligence are the building blocks of the modern combat operation process model. Quantifying this process will help us develop better responses to battlefield requirements. So 21 hours to get here. Okay. And now we can do this, and that should be an elimination fight. It truly is. So you go this way. Heinrich Trettner falls ill. Oh no! In his service to das Große Germanisches Reich, der Deutschen Nation, it seems Heinrich Trettner has pushed himself too far. As a result of the bad climate in their operational area, he has now fallen ill, and will likely need some time to recover. Well, okay, we should still be fine. We should still be fine. Okay, this entire area is now under our control, isn't it? It's kind of hard to see. Let's just capture these territories, and then we can move back north. Yeah, to these areas. So you take this. What's production units? Did we? No, we didn't. But just in case, I'm gonna increase this. Okay, so this entire southern area has been secured. Wait, Tenerife. Do we hold it? No, we don't. Okay. So we need to march this way. So you guys go that way. We need to get you into the position where you can strike at the enemy capital. It's gonna take a bit, but it should be fine. Over the horizon radar. Okay, doesn't this count as the cutting edge technology? Because if it does, I would be willing to share it. Prototype. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So we can send this to the Dominican Republic. Share cutting edge radar technology. And now we really need to take a chill pill, because our political power is dangerously low. Cymru Koch wins Welsh elections. The government of Wales has officially announced that the left-wing party known as the Cymru Koch has won the elections. The past few months in Wales have certainly been tumultuous due to the coal crisis that gripped the country for most of '62, bringing the country to the near edge of economic collapse. After the crisis has been resolved, the Aberfan disaster occurred, where a coal mine spoil tip pile had collapsed. This disaster resulted in the death of over 140 people, most of them being children, after the spoil tip had hit the local school in the area. After the horrific event had taken the country by storm, aid flooded in from the government to make sure the event wouldn't occur again. However, these two disasters, it seems... after these two disasters, it seems that the Cymru Koch has been a bright spot, led by Emrys Thomas, who promised a new government for the people and one for Wales as a whole. Let's see if the dragon can hold this. Rebellion impending. Top secret, eyes only, to all members of the Abwehr, Unternehmen Bernstein, Dominican Republic located within the Caribbean aligned with Iberia. Final preparations by the Caribbean region to attack the Dominican Republic are underway. Combat training has reduced the intensity. Stockpiles of weapons have more than doubled in the preceding month, and several landing vessels are resting in ports close to the camps where the contingent of the Caribbean region resides. Combat and anti-insurgents activity within the Dominican Republic has increased, although the extent of success is difficult to accurately assess. It is likely that Trujillo's government at large recognizes the risk posed by the Caribbean region, although it is improbable that they are aware of the full extent. Preliminary estimates predict that the invasion by the region shall begin in roughly 2 months. Some efforts have been made to establish cells within the island of Hispaniola, although progress in that direction is limited. Those that have succeeded will be directed to undermine the efforts of the Legion. In the meantime, aid has been sent to the Dominican Republic and has been broadly accepted, even if the leadership remains unmoved in their diplomatic outlook towards us at this stage. Iberian diplomats within seem supportive of our aid, yet are similarly unreceptive to further cooperation. And may these agents' effort be fruitful. Tick tock, tick tock. Okay, so with that radar finished, air accidents chance, improved fire control system. That could work well for our ships, but it's still way ahead of time. Anything here that we would like to get? Well, I'm not sure if we're gonna have the signal companies, but let's get them a bonus. And also, let's send them some more weapons. It might be the thing that they are missing the most. Italy wins the Italo-Turkish War. Well, wait, what? Oh, they won! Haha! I did not expect that. I haven't checked it in a while. For years, the border disputes between Turkey and Italy have been a major cause of disagreement between two allies. The high tensions between two Mediterranean countries peaked after the collapse of the triumvirate, leaving no obstacle before a war. Turkish troops had finally invaded the Italian Middle East. Italy did not stand idle against the Turkish aggression, and a small-scale war between the two former allies broke out. After the Turkish war machine ran out of steam, the front stalled and Turkey got bogged down in a stalemate they could not break. Gaining the clear upper hand in the war, Italy proposed a peace treaty with the terms of reparations from the Turkish government and the demilitarization of the Damascus region. Nice! Nice. I was not expecting that. Terms which have been reluctantly accepted by the Turkish government. Peace once more rules the Middle East now. Peace in the Middle East, huh? Wow, I mean, I have nothing against the Turks, but I did not expect that. And, you know, I was rooting for the underdog. Like, this invasion seemed really one-sided, and knowing that Italy managed to turn that around is awesome. Okay. Oh, no. The doctor's call. Spear's blood was running cold. The dreaded moment had finally arrived. Dr. Brandt had phoned him in the early hours of the morning, claiming that Hitler had fallen into a coma. After an hour of sleepless contemplation, Speer once more wrenched himself out of bed, strode to his study room, and plucked up the phone. He needed to talk with the chief of the party chancellery. Hi, Hitler. Herr Bormann, I'm sure you would agree that the Führer's absence from the public sphere has not gone unnoticed. Dr. Kauerbrand has served Hitler faithfully, and the only thing preventing a faster rate of recovery is Jewish shop's interference. As the designated successor, I will remove him from his post immediately and publicly condemn him. Let me guess, Bormann replied after a brief pause. You want me to condemn him too? Scapegoat him to protect Dr. Brandt? He scoffed. I don't care much for Brandt, but Shop is a repulsive fucking toad. I'll make sure to speak my mind. Let Göring know, Speer said, and placed down the phone. A pang of sickness was growing in his stomach. His friend and mentor was on the cusp of death, and his foes were not going to sit idly by once this fact has reached them. He ran a hand through his thinning hair and slowed his breathing. Hitler's current state of health must remain a secret. Only his most loyal supporters in the party and the Wehrmacht could be informed, to prepare them for any future conflict. He could give some speeches to sway moderate party comrades, and maybe throw in a few dog whistles to rile up the student movements throughout the Reich. As long as the Reichstags declared him to be the Führer, he could probably maintain a strategic position in Germania in the disastrous event of a civil war. Well, okay, great place to end the episode. Did we get a new secure deals with the conglomerates and secured Berman and Meren? Okay, we'll look into that in the next episode because we can't do that right now. But let's look at the economy. Yes, debt to GDP lowered to 104.9%. GDP increased to 230.5 billion. Real GDP growth is increasing, I think, to 1.68%. And our yearly surplus is 0.72% of the GDP. So we are repaying the national debt, albeit slowly, but steadily. It dropped from its height, I believe it was like 242 and a half, no, not that high, but over 242 million. Now it's 241.85 billion. Did I say million? Billion? Billion, who cares? But yeah, the plan is going well. We are dropping it. Unfortunately, the rest is not going well. Hitler is in a coma. And, well, we want to see what's going to happen with us. On the plus side, Madagascar will be saved. I can already say that. And we seem to be doing quite well in the Dominican Republic. So let's hope that they will manage to protect themselves. Unfortunately, I can't send them any help. But they do have divisions. They do have 2 military factories. So, you know, with the support that we're providing them and everything, they might actually be fine. Anyway, let's hope things are going to continue looking up.